everyone. So this is going to be a video about hero talents. I know it can be a little bit confusing. There's sometimes some discrepancy on different players on who to choose for what. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of my heroes, and I'm going to talk about general philosophies that I have and then some intricacies. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my Abyss Demon here. I'm getting him up. You know, he's an awesome hero. I want to max him out a little bit. You see his talents, though, I haven't really worked on, so let's go ahead and grab this. This Blessed Downwind's actually pretty good. But let's go ahead and take a look at all the talents first. So you're going to have offensive talents, right? Those are pretty obvious. You have Blessed Weapons, you have Will to Fight, you have Battle Fever, you have Blessing Downwind. Let's see, what else do we have? We have, and then Fatal Strike, which gives crit rate, crit damage on killing intent, and then hit, which are really kind of all of the attack boost ones. And I have a rating on my blog. I talk about which one I think is the best to the worst. Best one, I would say, is Blessed Weapons. So the reasoning's on my blog, and it's related to how IGG calculates damage. All of these damage categories, they experience diminishing returns. So what that means is that the higher you stack them, the less effect it's actually going to have. And so if you want to go ahead and take a look at what you have the least of, generally speaking, it will be the damage percentage boost, like Blessed Weapons gives. It doesn't come as naturally as, say, attack percentage rate, like the Battle Fever talent here, because you actually get a bunch of that from your actual hero aids. So with that in mind, this definitely is going to come out on top pretty much every time. It really, really shines. And also, even if you want to talk about crit damage, if you look at killing intent, you naturally have 50% crit damage boost. That's just inherent in the game. So already you're at 50%. And I don't think there's any player really that's at naturally 50% damage boost. It just doesn't come as easily. And then my second favorite talent is Blessing Downwind, which actually can be better than Blessed Weapons. It mathematically really outshines 3 Blessed Weapons, 3 Blessing Downwinds. But it only affects the regular attack damage. So heroes that focus on regular attack will benefit the most from this. I think Ambrosia is kind of somewhere in between the two. But when you want to talk about regular attack damage, definitely Abyss Demon. It's controversial, I know everyone did the Blessed Weapons, but this mathematically should beat it out if you have 3 of them and a blockhead aid. So I actually really like this Blessing Downwind talent. Then you want to talk about, I think it's really a tie between Battle Fever and then the 2 crit ones. It depends on kind of which one you have the least of. Sometimes crit rate can be really good if you pair it up with, say, a hammer that doesn't have any crit rate on it originally. And then you have killing intent, of course. That one's really nice. And funny enough, I was doing some math on a friend's Ambrosia who had killing intent, who was the one featured in a video, and you actually get a bigger boost from crit damage to having a Blessed Weapons talent than having this, due to diminishing returns, like I said. And the worst of these, this one, it doesn't really come into play too much. It could in future battles, especially as people start stacking dodge. And then this is the worst one. It's so bad. I'm sorry if you have it. I would actually, you should probably dust the hero and then turn that into talent refresh beads and then make a new hero. That's how bad it is. Especially as you get bigger later on in the game. And then let's talk about the defensive ones. So, you know, you're going to want to stick, of course, defensive talents on support and tanks, and sometimes the hybrid heroes, as I've defined in my blog. I'll talk about some of those specifically, but of course the best defensive talent that everyone in the game seems to go crazy over is Charm Curtain. If you look at some of the top players, I've mentioned, actually what they do is every time there's a new hero and they want to put talents on them, they mindlessly roll until they get 5 out of 5 Charm Curtains. And it's not a bad talent by any means, and it's one of the best defensive talents. There is one specific scenario there, though, where it can be worse. And that is when you compare it to Nimble Moves. That is the dodge rate talent. So this one is very, very interesting. This Nimble Moves can be the worst talent, even worse than the Will to Fight with the 280 attack or Hard Body. But the reason is because 5% dodge rate. Go ahead and take a look at this. Let's just go out to a weapon. Let's go to a green weapon. Scroll all the way down. I got a green weapon here. Let's look at its attributes. This by itself has 3.2% hit, and pretty much anybody who you're going to be fighting, especially as you go up, they'll at least have some kind of weapon like this. You see the hit rate is at 9%. So if you only have 5% dodge, it's going to do absolutely nothing for you unless you stack it. So here is my Landslide, and go ahead and look at his talents here. You see at the bottom, that's actually 3x nimble moves. And then you go ahead and look at the orange heart. This has 30% dodge. I would like to get him a wonton aid, but I don't have one just quite ready yet. But you can see here my Landslide. Of course, you know, there's the nimble move. So he has 15% dodge from that, 30% from the heart. That's at 45% right now. Plus, you can enchant him to get more, and you can, of course, when the heart procs, you get extra dodge and give him a wonton aid, and you are well set in terms of crit. Excuse me, dodge. What am I thinking? Crit. Because crit is a huge part of the game now. And then some other defensive talents are pretty good. I'm not going to go to them right now. Cast an Iron is decent. Steel Body, by default, is always going to be worse than Charm Curtain because it only gives a 5% reduction in crit damage, and Charm Curtain gives an 8% reduction in total damage dealt, which includes crit. So it's always worse, unfortunately, based upon that. And then there's the third category that you have troop-based talents. So of course you have Art of War, Morale Boost, and Amazing Grace. So you know if you're gonna go troop-based talents, you're obviously gonna want to stick them on you know, troop-based heroes like Skull Mage, Glory Priestess, Blockhead, Hydrosaur, sometimes Chiron, sometimes Sapphrix, depending on your setup. So at this point, that's an overview of all the talents. I'll go ahead and show you some of my heroes and just talk about some of the main ones or popular ones. Landslide, of course, is a tank, so you want to have defensive talents on him. Another tanky / hybrid character is Enchantress. Now, I don't have any talents on her. I actually have a Blessing Downwind on her, and that's not by intent. That's what the game gave me, and I just gave it to her. I may regret spending. I actually got it pretty quick, I think. Yeah, look how quickly I got it. I just wanted to roll a couple times. It only cost me 600 gems or so, or jewels. So I gave it to her because she has a bow. And also, the faster your heroes attack, the sooner they actually use their skills on defense. So it's not a bad idea to give that to some of your characters. But generally speaking, you want to have some kind of defensive talent for heroes like her. Now, we'll go ahead and look at Wonton. Now, Wonton, he gets most of his damage from his skill and his divine. And the way to boost that the most is through blessed weapons. You see I have 3 of them here on my Wonton. He definitely benefits from that, doing some mega damage with his divine, so I chose that for him. Berserker, same type of thing. 2 blessed weapons. I have a killing intent on him. I don't think it's the best choice, but it's an okay choice for now. I'd like to replace it with something, but for now I'm fine because I have other heroes who don't really have talents. Ambrosia, similar type of thing. I was kind of going for more Blessing Downwinds, especially for defense. She attacks pretty quick. But blessed weapons, like I said, she's kind of somewhere in between. So you can have some kind of mix there. I know that the crit ones can be popular, especially if you have a tome. But if you go ahead and look at this tome that I have here, it gives a crit bonus of 50% and also 20% crit rate. Plus, if you go ahead and give her a Diminishing aid, you're already piling that up quite a bit. And so, as a result, what that means is that she's going to experience a lot of diminishing returns from crit damage and even crit rate talents. So I really like that, these talents on her. Let's see, I don't think I gave talents to too many other heroes. I don't think I did Great Sage yet, did I? No, I didn't. Morale boost, yeah, obviously. So we're working on these heroes. I did do Jenny, though. It actually has the same as Berserker because that's what the game gave me. I think I was able to roll these pretty easily. And with him, you know, you might want to think, because his skill here gives a 50% increase in crit rate and 50% crit damage. But again, the diminishing return things, you're going to get a greater output, though you won't see the special critical numbers as well. You can actually get him to 100% crit rate after he uses his skill. But, you know, it is what it is. So I went ahead and went for those talents for him. Did I? I don't think I did. No, that would have been crazy. I don't even use him outside of Guild Boss. So there you have it. That's kind of my general philosophy on hero aids. I hope that helped you. And let me know if you have any questions, and definitely check out my blog. I have a lot more information there. I did go over most of it in detail, but again, think about what the hero does. What is their main role? Is it to do damage, or is it to stay alive and use their skills? And once you can decide that, you generally can decide what kind of talent you should put on your heroes. So good luck, and I hope that you 3-star my base soon. Okay, good luck.